Have you ever heard this saying? The Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space with the naked eye. It's a bold claim, one that many Chinese people have taken pride in, seeing it as a symbol of their ancient civilization's greatness. You'll find it repeated in textbooks, movies, and travel guides. Over the years, it became one of those facts nobody ever questioned. But then, we actually went to space, and a quieter, less dramatic truth emerged. One that made the whole world stop and think. What if we've been believing a myth all along? A monument beyond debate. Before we even get into whether it can be seen from space or not, let's make one thing clear. The Great Wall is an incredible human achievement. It's not just a long stone wall. It's a vast military defense system, built and rebuilt over more than 2,000 years, across many dynasties in ancient China. Back in the Warring States period, kingdoms like Qin, Zhao, and Yin built walls to defend themselves from each other. After unifying the country, Emperor Qin Shi Huang ordered these sections to be connected, marking the early phase of what we now call the Great Wall. Centuries later, during the Ming Dynasty, when northern invasions were constant, the wall was reconstructed on an even more massive scale, sturdier, longer, and more strategically designed. It eventually stretched over 8,800 kilometers. And according to a 2012 official Chinese survey that included all historical sections, the total length of the Great Wall exceeds 21,000 kilometers. That number alone is enough to leave anyone speechless. Visible from space. Where did that come from? Surprisingly, the person who first claimed the Great Wall could be seen from the moon wasn't an astronaut or a scientist. It was an English scholar named William Stukeley, way back in the 18th century. In 1754, he made the guess in a written work. Just a guess, no evidence, no first-hand observation. But the idea was catchy, memorable, and easy to romanticize. So it spread like wildfire. In fact, older Chinese textbooks went even further, stating, "The Great Wall is the only man-made structure visible from space." It was said with pride, yet, sadly, it wasn't true. When astronauts actually went to space. In 2003, China launched its first astronaut, Yang Liwei, into orbit. When he returned to Earth, a reporter asked, "Could you see the Great Wall from space?" His answer was blunt. "No, I couldn't see it." And he wasn't alone. Other astronauts like Chris Hadfield from Canada and Leroy Chiao, a Chinese-American astronaut, also confirmed. The Great Wall is very narrow, and its colors blend into the natural surroundings, dirt, rocks, vegetation, so it's nearly impossible to see with the naked eye from low Earth orbit. Even NASA chimed in, stating, "Even under ideal lighting and weather conditions, with powerful zoom cameras, spotting the wall is extremely difficult." So, why is it so hard to see? Let's put this into perspective. The International Space Station orbits about 400 kilometers above Earth. From that height, you're looking down on a planet with millions of square kilometers of terrain. Amid clouds, forests, deserts, mountains, and cities, the Great Wall appears as nothing more than a thin, earthy-colored line. It's only about 5 to 8 meters wide, which is much smaller than highways or airport runways, which also can't be seen unaided from space. So how could a muddy wall stand out in that vast complexity? What can be seen from space? Here's something few people realize. There are man-made things that are more visible from orbit. For example, city lights at night, perfectly shaped agricultural fields, even the Egyptian pyramids, because they sit on bright, sandy terrain. But the Great Wall? It weaves through remote landscapes, hidden by vegetation, and many parts have decayed or collapsed over time. In other words, the things we assume are the grandest can look surprisingly tiny from above. So, is the Great Wall useless? Absolutely not. Even if we can't spot it from space, the Great Wall remains one of humanity's greatest architectural feats. It symbolizes the resilience of ancient China, the ingenuity of its engineers, and the epic scale of its ambition. Some sections cling to mountaintops, thousands of meters above sea level, an astonishing achievement for ancient builders. It holds within it millions of untold stories of war, migration, religion, and cultural exchange. Many Western historians argue that this wall wasn't just built to keep invaders out. It was a political statement, a show of imperial power to the outside world, a monument paid for in blood. Millions of people took part in building the Great Wall, mostly soldiers, forced laborers, and prisoners. They worked under harsh, unforgiving conditions. We don't have exact figures, but historical records estimate that hundreds of thousands died during its construction. Many of their bodies were buried right into the wall itself. That's why some people call it the longest graveyard on Earth, a structure built not just with stone, but with the sweat, blood, and lives of unnamed individuals. The truth can be disappointing, but it's important. When a long-held belief is shattered, it can feel disappointing. But truth deserves to be respected. The greatness of the Great Wall doesn't depend on whether it's visible from space. Its greatness lies in its history, its human cost, its symbolism. It's a monument that the whole world admires, not because it's flashy from orbit, but because it has stood the test of time. From above, it may be small, but through the lens of history, it's absolutely monumental. What do you think about this myth? Have you ever believed in something your whole life, only to find out later it wasn't quite true? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story worth sharing, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and pass it along. Let's keep uncovering the real stories that lie behind the legends.